So here we've got a Sears Craftsman lawnmower with a Briggs & scrap iron, 7.25 horsepower, 163 cc, overhead valve, 4-stroke single cylinder that was brought in because it wasn't running. It's got spark. It's spinning over okay, but it's only got just about, what is it, like, you see there, just about 30 psi of compression. So I'm going to look up what this proper spec should be. I would assume it's supposed to be at least 100 psi. I don't know about this engine. I don't think it has a compression release set up on it. I don't see it anyways. Any kind of compression relief for starting easier. So I don't think it has that. So I'm pretty sure that 30 psi is way too low for a small engine like this. Should be like 100, I think. Pretty positive. So I've seen a couple of videos where the head gaskets go on these. Since it's an overhead valve, it's is it only 4 bolts holding the head on, I think. So it's fewer bolts, but it does have spark. Gas is fresh. It's one of those stupid ones that says, oh, just top up the oil as it burns it. I don't really believe in that. So I'm going to drain all the oil out, put new oil in it. That's just retarded. So going to fix that problem. We're going to see, we have to look into seeing what the compression is supposed to be like, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 100, so we'll remember that. And I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the combustion chamber and spin it over again with the compression tester on it to see if that increases or decreases or just stays the same, changes the compression or not. So I'll get back to you with that. Well, that's interesting. Put oil in it, and now we got 50 psi. I'll just show you a demonstration. Release the pressure. Got hooked up where the spark plug goes. And yes, I'm just using a cordless drill, so it might not get up to high enough RPM for it to be, you know, adequate for proper testing, but seems to want to get up to 50, and that's it. So oil in the compression chamber increases the compression. So maybe the valves aren't seating properly. Now with a little bit of oil, maybe they're seating a little better. Maybe the compression rings or compression rings and oil ring are bad and they're worn, and that oil is giving a higher reading, making it higher reading. So I'll have to take a look at underneath it, further into it, and find out why this is like this. So I'll continue on after I do some more dismantling. So upon further inspection, I took the cylinder head off, and the head gasket looks like it's failed. So it's been pinched and broke off there, and it's broke there. So I'd say the head gaskets need to be replaced. Hopefully that's the only problem. We'll get a new one. Get a new one on there. I just took a wire brush and cleaned up the top of the piston and the rest of the jug, the cylinder there. Here's the cylinder head. I just left the carburetor and the exhaust on it, just a little easier to take it off and on that way. Again, just took a wire brush on the die grinder. I think it's just the I can't remember what's made out of, brass or whatever. Softer metal wire brush so it doesn't do so much damage to the surface where it needs to be sealing. So that's all clean. The valves seem like they're seating, and they're not moving at all. I'll take the the rocker cover off and move them around a little bit, see if I can force them open and see how well they seat. But since the head gasket had failed, I believe that's the problem. We'll see later, but so far that's what's going on with this. Again, it's the overhead valve model, so the push rods came up here, and they don't seem bent or broken, so that's a bonus that no one's tried to start it on starting fluid. If you start on starting spray, you risk bending or snapping those push rods, so that's a good thing to keep in mind, not to use starting spray. I mean, it's different if you're using a 2-stroke. I mean, you can still probably do damage to your engine, but there's lesser of a chance. There's no push rods in a 2-stroke, but this 4-stroke has the push rods. Probably even bend a valve or break a valve. So I don't recommend using starting spray unless you're really desperate. And that's what's going on so far with this. Okay, so it seemed that the exhaust valve wasn't seating all the way. There was quite a bit of carbon buildup, and the valve had quite a bit of carbon buildup as well. So I went ahead and took it out, and I just cleaned it up with some Varsol and a soft bristle toothbrush, and it looks a lot better now. I got some fine sandpaper. I should have finer. I can only find 300 here at the shop. This is more of a carpentry shop than it is a automotive shop, so I'm limited to things right now. And since I'm in the middle of the woods, it's limited to what we have up here. So, and ideally I would have, like, I don't know, 500, 600 grit sandpaper. I only have 300, so maybe a little too coarse than what I should use, but it's what I have. Cleaned up that seat a little more, so it's seating better now, better than it was, so I'll take that. I figured I might as well do the same with the intake valve as well. Take it off and clean up where it's seating. Just sandpaper it a little bit, and use some Varsol to clean up all the carbon off of the valve and the valve seat. The valve seals look pretty good. The rubber looks good. Springs are good, and the hold down clip seemed good. So put that back together. Everything looked okay. Like there it is. There, looks like it's holding. It's like the valve seals sealing the oil off from dripping down the valve. So that's good. So far it looks pretty good. I'll get back with more information later. So I reinstalled the exhaust valve and took the intake valve out. Looks clean. Just cleaned up with a little bit of Varsol. I don't think the seat needs any really cleaning or anything. It looks fine. Just this little bit here on the side, which isn't the seat, but there's a little bit of carbon build up there. I'll clean that up. Valve seal's still good. The intake port here looks clean. I'll put that back in and put the spring on and try it out. So I'm gonna have to go online and see where I can get a new head gasket. Hopefully in town someday, so you can grab that. Hopefully that's the only problem. Now that I know that these valves aren't the problem, that's one thing to check off my list. So hopefully it's just that head gasket. Now that it's all cleaned up, hopefully it'll run a little better. All the carbon's out of the combustion chamber. I should have had a before picture before I cleaned it, It was pretty black and carboned up. I believe the gas they were using was pretty old, but it was running until they brought it to a mechanic. The mechanic said that I believe they said that there was a crack somewhere on the crankshaft, because the blade is connected directly to the crankshaft. I don't think there's any gear reduction. It's connected right to the crankshaft. So they said that it was cracked somewhere on the shaft. I have to look at it still first to find out if they put a new one on or if they just welded it or what. I'm going to take a look at that, see what that's all about. Yeah, we'll see what this does. Again, I'm just kind of documenting this, so if someone has another problem similar to this, they can solve it. And I'll get back to you with more information later.